Welcome to the Life of a Fit Pro. I'm your Fit Pro host, Aundra Anderson, and I have been in this industry for almost 17 years. So I think I've seen and done a thing or two, and I cannot wait to dive into all of these fun topics with you. What we have today, fake it till you make it. And I did. All right, we're gonna unpack what that means. We're gonna talk about it in terms of the fitness professional world, and I'm gonna share a few fun stories with you. Okay, so first, what do we mean when we say fake it till you make it? It is something that I feel like I've heard in the fitness profession. I've heard it from other fit pros. I've heard it in other professional circles. Bottom line, fake it till you make it means show up confident even when you don't feel like it. And look, even if you are tuning in and you are not a fit pro and you have no ambitions to become a fit pro, this is for you too. This is for you too. Fake it till you make it simply means find a little bit of confidence, put it out there to do the things that you might otherwise not do. For example, teaching fitness. So I love when people ask now. So it's fun because in the development of myself as a fitness professional, I have taught in so many places and spaces, and I continue to do that. So I don't get myself into a rut, so that I'm always on my toes. So I try out new things, and so I meet new people. And when I get to meet new people, maybe you're one of them, hello, welcome. We have fun here. I get the question of, so your background must be an athlete or a dancer or this or that. And the answer is always no. No, I was the quiet, shy kid who would find excuses to get out of gym class. Like that was just not part of my identity. That was not part of my world. And it is so funny to me that that is like such a big part of my world now. Like if they could only see me then, people in high school would probably be like, no, she didn't even want to run the mile. I didn't. And then I ran like, 25 half marathons for fun. And I paid to do it and traveled to do it. So whatever, we can change. But showing up confident. So my story getting into the fitness professional instructor world, I had graduated college. And in college, I had become a big fish in a small pond. I was very used to entering rooms and people wanting to know what I thought. I was very used to getting invited everywhere. I was used to being kind of big man on campus. I was student government president, yearbook editor, president of the student events board. I had a ton of things that I was involved in. And when I graduated, and honestly, this is something that people really don't talk about, and I think that we should, it was this huge, depressive moment because I went from being the it person that, again, people wanted to listen to what I had to say, people invited me places, to being an entry-level worker in the professional space. And I worked at my alma mater, so there was still a little bit of a known quality about me, but I was just an entry-level worker. So even with a bachelor's degree. And it was a very rude awakening. All of a sudden, nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. It was sort of wait in line, wait your turn, that sort of thing. I did have some really good mentors that pulled me to the top very quickly, and I'm still super grateful for their mentorship and leadership. But I needed to get myself out of this funk. And at the time, Zumba was huge. It was enormous. So we had some classes that were free for faculty and staff at our school to attend. So I went and I stood in the back row in my very baggy t-shirt, my very baggy pants. I didn't have athletic clothes. I can't even remember what it might have been. The instructor might have invited me, and that might have been just enough. Put that in your brain for later instructors. Sometimes just sending the invitation is enough to get somebody to come to your class. Even somebody that had no athleticism, nothing. I didn't even really move much at that time. But I went and it was just this moment of this is so fun. It doesn't feel like working out. The music is fun. There were a ton of people there. I felt good. And I found a talent in something I didn't know I had. So I progressed and I worked my way to the front row divas. And then my instructor announced that she was moving. And there went my 4 times a week class. Like, I was obsessed. And I thought, no, I finally found my thing. I have to do this. I have to do it. And I don't know what it was, but I signed up for an instructor training. I drove to somewhere in Virginia and got this Zumba license. And then I came back with this license, like, okay, I got it, my turn to teach. And then it didn't really work out the way that I wanted. And I ended up getting the 7 a.m. class. And at the time, I was so not a morning person. Like, I had to be at work at 8:30. I was rolling out of bed at 8:20 because I could walk to work. I was not getting up early to go work out. So that was my first experience with faking it till you make it. I had to fake being a morning person and having morning enthusiasm until I did. And now I can't imagine not being a morning person. I love the morning, and I am one of those people that's like, good morning, to all the disgruntled people who are walking into work. Even to my husband, who goes, just sort of like, I say good morning, and he's like, Once he's had his like coffee and shower, he's good to go. But I pop up like I pop out of a toaster out of bed. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hype up. I love it. So in that instance, I pretended, I faked it. I faked morning enthusiasm. But then over time, as I was teaching that class and was just realizing how much I loved it, I found that I actually am a morning person, and I can be a morning person. And that was 17 years ago, almost. So nothing has changed. I still love morning. I don't teach any morning classes at the moment. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't at the moment. The morning has become kind of my time, but I still really enjoy the morning minutes. So very first example of faking it till you make it. And honestly, my 16 years, and we'll unpack this through different podcasts, but my 16 years of being in the fitness profession has been a lot of faking it till I make it. Now, I want to make a distinction between faking it till you make it and being authentic. Sometimes you have to force it a little bit to find that authenticity. I'll give you an example. I spent a lot of time, when I first became an instructor, there was not a ton of social media, or that really wasn't being used for the fitness professional world. But when we did get like Facebook and eventually Instagram, I followed a ton of other fitness professionals, and I went to conferences and I had instructor trainers, and I would take little pieces of their personality, of the words that they were using in class, their presence. I took little pieces of them to create my own fitness persona. And it goes so well with being a Gemini, fellow Geminis out there. I loved having my work persona, my professional work persona, and my fitness persona. And my fitness persona was like high energy, gonna greet you, loves to be here, good music, good flow, good pace, let's go. And that was not always my professional energy. I tried to like find a balance between the two. Now I'm just who I am because I'm 40 and we just are who we are. At some point, you just sort of give up trying to have more than one personality or persona. But I did. I borrowed, probably even truthfully stole some other people's words and ideas and structures until I could find my own authentic voice. And I think, unpopular opinion, I think that's okay. I think it's okay to emulate, to borrow, to steal a little and create your own voice. And my instructor persona came from all of the people that came before me and all of the different elements that they brought to class that I enjoyed, that they brought to trainings and conferences and things like that. So I think it's okay to fake it a little in order to eventually find your authentic voice. Now, where that becomes a bad thing, I've had copycats over the years, which like Hello. That's, at the time, it sucked. But as I've matured in my fitness professional world, I've realized that copycats are sort of like you're doing something right. Like obviously you are doing something right if other people are trying to do what you're doing. So I've always been mindful of like not stealing somebody's stuff 100%. Like I'll borrow and I'll tweak. And honestly, that's perfect. I don't mind if you borrow and tweak things from me to get yourself started, to find your own voice. But when you're like actually copying my words, my playlists, my outfits, oh yeah, that happened. It's sort of like, okay, hold on. Who are you actually? And here's the thing with that. Somebody that takes 100%, somebody that is a complete copycat, they're gonna fizzle eventually because it's not authentic to who they are. They're trying to be something that they're not. And in that instance, faking it did not help you make it. You have to fake it a little, you have to borrow, you have to tweak until you find what works for you, and that will help you make it. I was trying to think as I was preparing for this particular podcast, when was the moment that I felt like I made it? I've had a couple, and this is so weird. And this feels really big ego, but for the purpose of this podcast, I felt like I made it. And I'm using air quotes because we're constantly evolving as fitness professionals, as human beings, all of those things. When I got recognized in places that I didn't frequent, I got stopped at a Target once, not anywhere near where I live, and somebody was like, I know you. And usually it's like, oh yeah, are you in admissions? Did you go to Washington College? Whatever it might be. No, I did your videos during COVID. Okay, cool. That was so cool. That was weird. It was weird, but it was so cool. And those instances made me realize, like, I had made it in my own true, authentic voice. I just did what felt right to me. So during the COVID pandemic, when everything was moved to online and we had to, I hate this word, pivot. We had to pivot. It came really naturally to me. There were times, and I'll say that with a caveat, I have a husband who works in IT, and he researched and helped me build what I thought was a very fantastic setup. I started with a weird setup and like actually an old dinosaur computer where apparently I looked blue on the screen. I'm sure those videos are somewhere if you want to go looking. And my music blasting from a speaker behind me that sounded like you were like underwater and really muffled. I am embarrassed to think about it, but we had to try something. And over time, as I kept doing it, I got really, really, really good at it. And that was me finding my flow. So I was faking, knowing what the heck I was doing until I figured it out. And I stuck with it, and it ended up working really, really well. And it's funny, so I'm in my fitness studio at my house filming this podcast, and I'm looking at all of my equipment and realizing I haven't used it in probably a year, maybe even longer. I can't remember the last time I did a virtual class. It's been a minute. But this was my bread and butter for so many years. And for a while, once we were sort of working our way out of the pandemic, I was doing hybrid. I was teaching some in person, I was teaching some virtual, sort of a mix. I do still film workouts to send to my challenge groups and to post on YouTube, but I don't break out all the big equipment. I literally just take my iPhone into whatever space I can grab and I press play. That's all I do now. And I have this really awesome, kind of expensive setup, and I don't use it, which is so funny. But another example of faking it till you make it. And there are gonna be some down times when you do that. I will say that it's gonna get worse before it gets better. You're gonna feel like a fraud, or you're gonna feel like an imposter, and then you're gonna climb your way out of it. And if you don't, that's not what was meant for you. And that's like a hard pill to swallow, but it's so important to distinguish and to set yourself apart as a fitness professional. Let's see, what did I miss? I have this whole little outline and I just started talking. That's what happens when you're a fitness professional and when you work in college admissions. We just talk a lot. Let's see, how did I fake it when I was nervous about teaching classes? I still get nervous. So this week in particular, I started classes at a new to me location. Like I've never taught at this location before. I've had a chance to work out on my own in this location and I felt comfortable there, but I'd never taught. And coming with that means new clients, new people that don't know who I am. I can be a lot. I will admit, and that's being very true to my authentic self. There's no faking it there. I am a lot. And that's not everybody's cup of tea. And it's really, it can be really nerve-wracking. So what do? In those, I'll give you exactly what I did. Okay, so I was teaching 2 classes at a location that's new to me, happened this week. How did I get myself in the mindset of, okay, this is gonna be okay? How did I fake it till I made it? I don't know that I've made it there yet, but we'll see. This is a 5-week journey at this location. So what did I do? I went and set up super early. I was fortunate enough it's on the campus where I work. So I was fortunate enough to be able to go during my lunch break and kind of set the stage for the room. I put my tablecloth out. I had all of my calendars. I have business cards and pens that I like to give new clients because the card on the back has a QR code to my YouTube with some free videos. So I wanted to make sure I had those to hand out. I made sure my music was working. What else did I do? I had Pilates balls that I had to put together. So I did all of those things because rushing is like not it for me. I don't like being rushed. I hate being rushed. I know that about myself now. And I did that. And then I came up with an idea. One of the hardest things about teaching new people is getting their names. And as I get older, I'm getting much worse, much worse. So I came up with something that felt very like kindergarten, first grade, but they all totally dug it. I had little blank index cards and I had a variety of Sharpie markers in fun colors. I'm obsessed with Sharpies, love school supplies, very authentic to me. And I had them write down their name and a couple of things about themselves. So for one, it was like, how long have you been taking this format of class? And if it's your first day, say first day. I asked one group, there were 2 groups. I asked one group like what your favorite flower is. And then I asked them their birth month and day. Because something that I realized as I started to teach was I'm obsessed with birthdays and celebrating birthdays. And I feel crushed when I miss them. So I wanted to make sure nobody had a birthday that day or like during our session together. And it always creates kind of like a fun atmosphere because people will say things like, oh, my birthday is also in March or whatever it is. So it kind of creates a fun, it brings the class together as well. But I do that for a couple of reasons. One, so that we're not just sitting there staring at each other, waiting for class to begin, because that is my least favorite thing. I want you to be doing something. That people were focused coming in. It gave them a task where they felt like, okay, I have something that I need to do and I knew all the answers to it because I know my name, I know my birthday, I know my favorite whatever or how many classes I've taken. It gave them something to do. It gave them something to chat about with each other. And then as I was looking around, I made note of who was using what color. And that helped me, okay, associate this person with this color. I will remember that for the next time. And it also helped because I do not like calling class attendance, and I have to take attendance for this class. I don't like calling out and saying like, Megan, Elizabeth. No, I collected the cards and that's how I did attendance. And that helped to ease my nerves a little bit. And I think it probably came off as I knew what I was doing and I was really confident, even though I was nervous AF. Even 16 years into teaching, I've taught so many groups, so many locations, and yeah, I still get nervous. But it's okay. You can fake it. put a little confidence out there, put yourself out there, do something a little silly, do something that is authentic to you, and people will respond to that. And we had 2 really great sessions. So it ended up working really well. And I'm glad that I thought about that fun note card thing. Steal it, take it, it's yours. Okay, anything else I wanted to say? Oh, bottom line. Okay, so we talked about the difference between faking it till you make it and being authentic. Faking it till you make it and authenticity are separate, but faking it could help you find that authentic voice. It can also help you figure out what does not work for you. I was emulating one instructor. I absolutely love her. She is a guru. She is a mentor. She leads conference sessions. I mean, she's amazing, and this works for her. But she would have this wild call during class. It was something, and forgive me, I'm going to try not to do it too loud, but she would go like, woohoo, something along those lines. I tried that. It is not for me. It is not for me. It is not for me. But I tried it because it worked so well for her. So I was like, well, let me try it because it worked so well for her. No, it didn't work for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Give it a try. Whatever. But I faked it. I pretended that that was like my thing. I wanted to do a little call out, and it wasn't. But it helped me discover what I don't want to be doing and what actually is comfortable to me. Let's see. Let me encourage. If you are new to the fitness profession or thinking about coming into the fitness profession, it's going to be hard at first. It's going to suck for a little bit. You're going to doubt yourself every 5 minutes, but keep pushing if it's something that you really want to do, and keep developing yourself. Keep growing. Keep learning. Keep training. Keep yourself busy. Keep practicing. Like you're going to have a moment, like I feel like I did it during this podcast, where you're looking back at something that you did and you cringe because you're growing. It's good. It's going to be messy at first. Allow it to be messy. Allow the messy so that you can get to the good stuff. Just jump in. Let's see, anything else? I feel like that's good for our first official podcast of the Life of a Fit Pro. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to so many more stories and content. And as always, if you have something you want me to chat about or questions that you have for me, let me know. Check out Fit with Aundra on Instagram. I'll post stories on there with questions if you want to answer. If there's anything that you want to ask me that I can answer on this podcast, you can always comment below. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube, and I hope maybe I get to see you in a fitness class. See you later.